All right, guys, good morning. Today is Friday. And of course, it's Friday, and you know what that means. It's chiropractor day. Yeah, lower back pain again. It's time to hit the chiropractor today, this afternoon, 2:30 appointment for some adjustment, I guess is what you call it. I love that electrical stimulation machine for your back. Man, that feels so good. Anyway, good morning and welcome to another live stream. If you are new here, this is Total OS for today. I am your host, Carmine, or as the UPS driver once said, package for Carmini. That is a true story. All right, let me grab my cup of coffee here. Give me a second and we'll get started. Fresh coffee from Keurig in the morning. Background music, again provided by Dad for his original songs from Italia. Thank you, Dad. If you haven't already, check out some of these beautiful original tunes from my dad's Bandcamp website. Just search Salvatore Pate is his name, or in Italian, Salvatore Pate. Yeah, good mafia name. Just kidding. Anyway, hope you guys are all doing well. All right, so there's some big Linux news. Well, this year, I think there was two big Linux news items. One was Ubuntu's now delayed release of their immutable version of their operating system. That was supposed to be released in April. It's been delayed, not ready yet. I was curious about that to see if it could match the Chromebooks, the Chrome OS immutable systems in terms of reliability. That's been delayed, oh well. However, the next big news would be System 76's new Cosmic desktop based on Rust. No, not the Rust from your car, but the Rust programming language. Don't worry, you don't need to know anything about that. I trust System 76. Their Pop! OS is really good, and I feel that the new version will be even better. That being said, if you haven't already, check out this interview with System 76's CEO a few months ago on YouTube, Why System 76 Left Ubuntu Linux Behind. He explains what happened. Yeah, I left Ubuntu behind, was it last year before? I did a fresh install of Ubuntu, had no sound. Tried to fix it. You know, for Windows use, I'm a fairly patient guy, but finally I gave up. So I left Ubuntu behind. I wanted to leave Ubuntu behind back in 2017 when they switched to the GNOME desktop, but I tried to be fair. But finally, last year before, I just gave up. No sound in Ubuntu. And anyway, that was the end of Ubuntu for me. Sadly, because my first date with Linux was with Ubuntu. I loved the original desktop. I liked Unity. But too much flip-flopping just wasn't for me, and that was the end of Ubuntu for me, sadly. But hey, if it works for you, go for it. All right, so I stated the big news will be the alpha release of their new Cosmic desktop. This is from System 76's blog. If you're new to all this, alphas are not meant, alpha-branded releases are not meant to be used every day. They're used for testing purposes. Again, if you are new to all this, but I am quite curious about this to see how this looks and how this works. But yeah, when it comes to the GNOME desktop, System 76 and Zorn have done a very good job with the GNOME desktop. If I had to use GNOME, if I was forced to use the GNOME desktop every day, I would choose either or both, use both. Either System 76's Cosmic or Zorn's OS. But yeah, they're okay as far as GNOME goes. But this is the big news. This should be released at the end of July. According to the blog, again, it will be a first release for their new revamped Cosmic desktop, and they're celebrating what they called Freedom Sale. I think starting on the 4th of July, they'll have their machines on sale. I've never used a System 76 machine. So I can't really speak for them. I'm sure they're fine. If someone from System 76 would like to send me one so I can test it, I would be happy to. I don't have one. Those of you who have one of these, please let me know. From what I understand, they are good, reliable machines, and the customer support is also pretty good too. And this is nice because this company, I believe, is based in not Arizona, I think in Colorado. Denver, Colorado, I do recall. If I'm wrong, someone correct me on that, please. But yeah, the new Cosmic desktop, completely redone, getting away from Ubuntu. Good for them. And please, whatever it is, make it easier than the GNOME desktop. What a mess. Okay, so that's the news as far as the Cosmic desktop. Now, some of you might be wondering, okay, Total Wes, what do you use? Well, it's hard to beat, when it comes to Linux, it's hard to beat a Linux-powered Chromebook. As you see here, those of you watching this podcast, security so strong, it's never had a virus. Well, that may be true because I issued a challenge years ago. Those of you who have a Chromebook, tell me if you ever gotten a virus or ransomware, the dreaded ransomware, which is prevalent. Not a single response. Now, I'm not going to say it's impossible, never say never, but yeah, I just have not seen virus or ransomware on a Chromebook. Not yet. So if you are a Windows user or you've tinkered with Linux and haven't had good luck, don't say that Linux sucks. It's not fair. Don't say that. Try a Chromebook first. Try a Chromebook first and then go from there. I don't think you will be disappointed. These are affordable machines. They start at about $200. You can find a really nice one if you want something a little more higher power, more storage for about $400, maybe a little bit less with the Chromebooks Plus. But my first choice, if you are new to all this, is to try a Chromebook first. Then go from there. Yes, you can download a free version of Chrome OS from Chrome OS Flex, but to really appreciate what Google has done with Chrome OS, you really need to try it out in a Chromebook. Maintenance-free machines, super reliable, and now these newer ones will give you 10 years of free support. So my first choice would be a Chromebook. After that, I use Linux Mint. Linux Mint has been around since approximately 2008. They've done a good job too, making these different versions of Mint reliable. I prefer the Mate desktop for its simplistic look. I prefer the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. And I think most of us can appreciate that in these post-pandemic days. Less stress equals more life, more time for yourself and your loved ones, right? But if you haven't already, I would check out Linux Mint. Let's see. And yeah, last but not least, I would check out Zorin OS. These guys have been around since about 2010, I believe. I believe it's two brothers. They make different versions of Zorin OS. One is a lighter weight version based off of XFCE. Then their standard version with the GNOME desktop, a modified version of the GNOME desktop that looks very good, very polished, never had a problem. So when it comes to GNOME, Pop OS, Zorin OS, it's hard to beat those. Again, if you're looking for something simple, not as heavy, go with Linux Mint. If you're looking for the fastest and the simplest, it's hard to beat a Chromebook. Yeah. All right, let me get another sip of coffee here, then I'll jump into the chat and see if anybody popped in. So give me a moment here. I keep forgetting to buy creamer for my coffee. My goodness. Anyway, all right, let me do this. Let me switch here. Let me refresh the chat. And if anybody's in the chat, now's your chance to say hello or goodbye. And then we'll wrap it up. All right. So the stream looks good. We're in the green. I am running this off Linux Mint, off a machine from 2011. Again, the Linux Mint Mate version, the lightweight version of Linux Mint, works pretty good on a machine that originally had Windows 7. Believe it or not. Yeah, Windows 7. That Windows 7, all right? Yeah, it works pretty good still. I am due for a new one, though. Okay, I don't see anybody in the chat yet. I'll wait a little bit longer. I'm actually doing laundry. Closing the dryer, believe it or not. We'll see if anybody drops in the chat. If not, then we'll wrap it up for this Friday morning. I mentioned before, but it was nice to see it was nice to walk into my local Walmart and see 8 different Chromebooks that they had for sale, at least 8, lined up and back by the TV department. That was encouraging. I'm sure those employees know nothing about Chromebooks or Linux. That's okay. I don't need to ask for information. But yeah, my local Walmart, and this is not a tech town. This is definitely not a tech town. It was nice to see that many different Chromebooks in a local Walmart. Very impressive. All right, somebody popped in the chat. Hope I say your name correctly. Horgen Anderson. Hello. This Lenovo I use also has Windows 7. Had Windows 7. Linux Mint XFCE. That is an excellent choice. Yeah, if you're looking for something lighter weight for Linux Mint, Mate is light, but XFCE is probably a little bit lighter. That's a good choice for a machine. And by the way, Lenovo's and Linux are the perfect marriage. They work quite excellent in my multiple tests of laptops. How old is that Lenovo? If it's Windows 7, it has to be at least 10 years old, right? I believe mine is from 2011. Now, I upgraded the hard drive. I changed it to an SSD to make it run faster. Maxed out the RAM. That's all that I did. Still runs. It's definitely outdated. It's time for me to get in. I'm looking at something with a Ryzen 7. As soon as my son gets situated with this car after blowing up the engine on his Lexus. Kids. Gotta love them, right? But yes, Lenovo's, I'm assuming that you have a ThinkPad. I got multiple. I still have. I don't use them as much, but the ThinkPads and Linux are terrific. All right, finishing up my coffee here. Anybody else want to say hello or have a question or a comment? Horgan, if I say you're right, Jorgen, where are you at? Where are you from, if I may ask? Oh, you got it secondhand. Okay. Used Windows 7 until support ended. Changed to Mint the same day. You are Swedish. Swedish. Very good. I love your chocolates. Nice to see somebody here. I'm assuming from Sweden. Very nice. Is Linux popular there where you live? I haven't really done much research about Swedish or Sweden, but nice. This is why I love doing these live shows at these different times to try to catch some of you who are not here in the States from different countries. It's always a pleasure chatting with someone who doesn't usually have an opportunity, to say hello or comment. Back in the past when I did the shows weekend nights, had the same guests on, and that's wonderful to have the same friends on, but people like Jorgen, nice to have someone drop in to say hello from Sweden. I'm playing my favorite song, one of my favorite songs from Dad. It's the Oh Hey I'm Screwed song. I love this song. Anyway, my dad in Italy, working on his farm, writing music. Oh, you rarely meet others who use Linux. Okay. Well, that makes us special, right? I guess they use what, Windows or MacBooks, right? I think here in the United States, of course, many of us, I don't have the exact numbers, use different forms of Linux. During the pandemic, Chromebooks outsold MacBooks, which is quite an achievement. Google realized that they needed to be better. So all the newer ones will give you 10 years of support with a Chromebook. And that's not bad for a machine that starts at about $200 and up. Linux has come a long way since I first started using it back in 2006 as a more or less a curiosity. It's been a nice ride for the most part. Have you seen anybody use Chromebooks in Sweden? I guess it's probably, if I had to guess, Jorgen, it's probably MacBooks, if I had to guess. We'll love to visit that country one day. I think we do have a few other people watching this. Don't be shy. Please say hello. You don't have to give your real name. Always love to hear from you viewers. All right, so they use mainly Windows. Okay. On the laptop, you see Chromebooks at the store. You don't know anyone having one. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, as I was saying here, where I live in Ohio, the local Walmart, and I don't know if there are Walmarts in Sweden. Walmart here, they had 8 different Chromebooks to choose from, which was encouraging to see, to give shoppers a choice. I think probably for a lot of consumers, when they're switching to something new, even if they heard of Linux or a Chromebook, they're probably scared to try one. A friend of mine got one last year, and it wasn't until this year when I went to her house to show her how to use it, how much faster it was, that I think she was impressed and realized how quite easy they are to use, even if they look different. Change is hard, but in this case, change is easier and faster. Because again, with the Chromebook, there's really no maintenance. Updates are in the background. When it's time to reboot, you can reboot at your leisure, and that's it. Chromebooks either work out of the box or they don't work. There's nothing to fix or maintain or maintenance. I'm going to see maybe in the future if I can have someone from System 76 come on for an interview. Once the new Cosmic Desktop is released, all right, I'll wait another 5 minutes, see if anybody else wants to jump on to say hello or have a question. Then we'll wrap it up for this morning. Looks like it's going to be a bright sunny day here in Ohio. Wish my lower back wasn't stiff. If you guys have any suggestions for live chats or live show, of course you can let me know. We did a lot of these before the pandemic. Haven't heard much post-pandemic. I hope all of you and your family are doing well. Some good times in the past. Really good, wonderful times in the past. Good memories. Thanks to all of you. And thanks to all of, by the way, thanks to all of your contributions to the channel through PayPal and Patreon is greatly appreciated. Of course, this is how I buy my coffee and wine from you guys. Thank you. All right, so it looks like for this morning, just me and Jorgen from Sweden were in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoy your weekend. I don't think I'll do anything tonight or tomorrow night. The 4th of July, let's see, what is it, Wednesday or Thursday? So it doesn't really fall on a weekend. So I don't know if people are making any plans this weekend or next weekend. Haven't heard anything. I'll be doing chiropractor visits today and probably one more next week. All right. Thank you, Jorgen, for stopping by. Stop in anytime I'm on live. Feel free to stop in and say hello. So for those of you who listen to this, watch this later on, sorry I missed you. If you have any questions or comments or whatever's on your mind, you guys know how to reach me. If you have a System 76 machine, would like to share your thoughts on it, experience, please do. If you have a Chromebook, definitely would like to hear about that. All right, a pleasure to chat here this morning. You guys take care, have fun, have a safe July 4th if you celebrate that here in the States, and I'll catch you on the next one.